Hello everyone, I'm Gary York, Corruption Behind Bars. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. Today I want to talk to you about the impact that the 3D printed guns could have on law enforcement and in the prison system. And I believe it can have a huge impact on both. So I want to talk to you about that, and I want to get your thoughts on whether the 3D printed guns are a necessity or necessary or useful, or are they going to be a national security threat? I would like to hear your opinion when I'm done. Before I talk about how it will affect law enforcement and prisons, I just want to give a brief history, which most of you probably already know about. On Monday, a U.S. District Court judge ruled that the company Defense Distributed in Texas cannot provide blueprints for 3D guns. The owner of Defense Distributed said he interprets the ruling as he cannot give them away. So he's going to sell them, and I believe it's for about $10 a print. And he stated it's not about the money, it's about the right to have the 3D prints, and he is going to save all the money that he makes from selling the prints to pay for his defense in court, to try to fight for the right to be able to let these prints be given away or sold or whatever you wish. Since all this has happened Monday, there's already been 2,500 people, that was as of yesterday, in the past couple of days that have already downloaded these prints and printers to make guns. So we don't know how many more people have downloaded these 3D prints for guns as of yet. Now, how many people that are going to use these 3D prints are hunters? We don't know. How many people are honest people that just wish to have them in their home, get a gun cheaper? Because 3D printing is much cheaper than going through the manufacturer. You can print a single weapon, or you can print several, but it is a cheaper, less expensive way to obtain a gun. But how many people are just going to print one for home defense? But how many people are going to use the weapons for a criminal activity or a terrorist activity? You have to remember that these 3D prints are very hard to trace, almost untraceable. If someone makes a weapon from one of these 3D gun prints, law enforcement is going to have a heck of a time tracing these weapons down. Now here's what concerns me and law enforcement. Law enforcement is concerned how many of these guns will get into the hand of criminals, which they should be concerned. How many of these weapons will get into the hands of terrorists, which we should be concerned. How many of these weapons, and we know it can happen, will get into the hands of the next school shooter. Being hard to trace is inviting to some of these people who are looking at these type of crimes. So who is sitting at home now thinking, I can get one of these prints and make a gun and take the gun to school? So something we need to be concerned about. How many people are sitting at home right now saying, I could get one of these prints and make a gun for my home self-defense and it won't cost me as much? Well, we have to weigh the good with the bad, and I think the bad of these 3D gun prints is going to outweigh the good. If that many people have already downloaded some prints, how many more out there are going to do the same and not being registered? Maybe they'll become a law later on. Right now, there are laws. The government has allowed the 3D prints to go out in some areas. Some states, I guess, are allowing it, but now there are temporary injunctions in place putting a hold on that. So there's going to be a lot of court battle over this to see what the outcome is. So a lot to talk about. How are we going to register the guns? How are we going to know who owns it? How are we going to know who bought the prints? If you buy the print, do you need to register your name just like you would with a gun? You know, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a law expert, but I can see already as a layperson all these issues that are coming up. How many cop killers will want to get a hold of one of these guns? That's a big concern in my mind also. Hard to trace, remember? This is bad news in my opinion. Now, as far as the prisons go, we've already seen people or heard of people being put in jail or prison over these 3D gun prints. In California, and I have to look that up, a man known as Dr. Death was sentenced to 3 years prison for selling 3D printed gun parts, just the gun parts. Canadians could face prison time for making 3D guns. So the 3D gun issue is already making our prison population grow, but what else will it do? Well, if I'm criminal-minded and I'm in prison and I want to escape prison, and I have someone on the outside who's going to help me, and these 3D guns are very hard to trace, this makes it more inviting to smuggle a 3D gun into a prison than it would be to smuggle a gun with a registered serial number, or a gun that could possibly be traced back to its original owner. This is scary for me as a corrections person, and I know it's scary for the law enforcement folks working the streets who already have enough trouble with guns and gun issues. But the prison population will not only grow based on 3D gun prints, the smuggling of guns into prison could rise, because now your criminal-minded person on the street and the one in prison are not so worried now about the gun being traced back. They can still be caught, of course, smuggling the weapon in. They can still be captured before the inmate using the smuggled gun escapes, but still it's hard to trace back the gun to the original person who smuggled it in. Could terrorists use these 3D printed guns to commit escape attempts? I mean, we've had helicopters fly in over the prisons, successfully get inmates out of the prison. We've had guns smuggled in prisons for decades. So what is to stop terrorists from using these type of weapons to place a terrorist attack or a escape attempt on a prison? If you want to laugh at that, go ahead. But we've seen everything, and we know it can be done, and we know if they can do it or they can try to do it, they will try to do it. So the 3D printed guns are a big concern right now. I saw an article out of Chicago, and let's don't laugh. We know Chicago is having a lot of trouble, folks, with murders and things on the street. There was an article on Chicago being very, very concerned about the 3D gun issue. I mean, it's already bad enough over there. This could make it even worse. Let's don't just pick on Chicago. We know Dallas, Los Angeles, Detroit, a lot of big cities, Miami, you know, Jacksonville, Florida. There's so many big cities across the country that are going to have concerns. They already have enough trouble with gun violence on the streets. This could make it worse. And I know I asked you at the beginning, is this necessary or a national threat? I know I didn't talk too much about how this could be a good thing, because obviously I feel it's more of a national threat. President Trump is looking into the situation. He's already tweeted something about the situation, saying it makes no sense to him. So hopefully things will be looked at very seriously, which I'm sure they will be, and the right decision will be made. Let me know your thoughts on how 3D printed guns will affect our law enforcement, how it will affect our prisons, and what you think. If you think it's a good thing, please let us know at the bottom of this YouTube what you think about the good things about it. And if you're against it, please let us know that also. I'm very curious to hear what people have to say. All right, I've already taken up 10 minutes of your time today. just something I wanted to throw out there and see what people think. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, Corruption Behind Bars, Gary York.